Hashtag how the rich use LLCs to protect and grow their money. The wealthiest Americans are using a legal structure you've probably never heard of to keep millions away from lawsuits, reduce taxes, and build generational wealth while most people with decent income are completely exposed. I'm talking about LLCs, and today I'm breaking down exactly how they work and why your financial advisor probably hasn't mentioned this. Here's the thing, having money makes you a target. Get sued, lose it. Lose a business, lose everything. But the rich solved this problem decades ago, and it's perfectly legal. Hashtag part 1, why LLCs are your financial bodyguard. Let me be direct. LLC Euro Limited Liability Company Euro is basically a legal shield between you and your money. Here's a real scenario. You own a rental property that generates $24,000 per year in rental income. A tenant gets injured on the property and sues for $500,000. Without an LLC, they're coming after your personal assets, your savings account, your car, your retirement accounts potentially at risk depending on your state. With an LLC, that liability stops at the LLC. You lose the property maybe, but your personal $75,000 in savings that you've been building stays protected. Your Roth IRA with $89,000 stays protected. Your primary residence might stay protected depending on your state laws. That's not theory. That's what happened to Robert Kiyosaki and thousands of real estate investors who learned this lesson the hard way or the smart way. Most Americans between 22 and 45 are building wealth whether it's through a side business on Robinhood, freelance work, rental properties, or e-commerce. But almost none of them have liability protection. One lawsuit, and years of wealth building vanishes. The rich don't gamble with this. They structure everything. Hashtag part 2, the tax advantage nobody talks about. Now here's where it gets interesting for your wallet. LLCs are pass-through entities for tax purposes. That means the LLC itself doesn't pay taxes, you do. But here's the magic, you can structure the LLC to be taxed as an S-corp, and that changes everything. Let's say you're running a freelance consulting business making $150,000 per year. If you're a sole proprietor or single member LLC, you're paying self-employment tax on all of it. That's roughly 15.3% in Social Security and Medicare taxes. On $150,000, that's about $22,950 just going to self-employment taxes. But as an S-corp LLC, you can split your income into two parts, a reasonable salary that you report as W-2 income, and a distribution that you take as dividends. Let's say you pay yourself a reasonable salary of $80,000 and take $70,000 as a distribution. Now you're only paying self-employment tax on the $80,000, not the full $150,000. That's roughly $12,240 in self-employment taxes instead of $22,950. That's $10,710 staying in your pocket every year. Over 20 years, that's $214,200 in taxes you're not sending to the IRS. That money could be going into a Fidelity index fund tracking the S&P 500 at 10% annual returns, growing to over $550,000. The wealthy know this. They've already structured their business income this way. Hashtag part 3, growing wealth inside an LLC. Here's the part that really matters for your long-term wealth building. Once you've got your LLC set up with liability protection and tax optimization, you can actually use it as a wealth building vehicle. Your LLC can own rental properties, business assets, stocks, even cryptocurrency. Everything stays organized under one legal umbrella. You're building equity and generating cash flow that's protected. Let's be specific. Say you set up an LLC and buy a rental property for $350,000. The property generates $2,100 per month in rental income, $25,200 per year after expenses. That's pure cash flow that deposits into your LLC's account. Now you're not just hoping your 401k grows at 7% annually like most people. You're actively generating income, it's protected from lawsuits, and you're only paying taxes on what you actually owe, not on inflated self-employment taxes. After 10 years with smart management, that property might be worth $480,000, you've collected $200,000 plus in cash flow, and it's all sheltered inside your LLC structure. Meanwhile, Your friend with the same income but no LLC is paying extra taxes, has no liability protection, and is just maxing out their Fidelity 401k hoping it works out. Hashtag the bottom line. LLCs are not some complicated rich person secret. They're a legal tool that protects your assets, reduces taxes, and provides a framework for building wealth strategically. You don't need $1 million to start. You need a plan. If you're making real income €1 from a business, rentals, or side hustle €1 an LLC costs $50 to $300 to set up depending on your state, and it could save you thousands every single year. This is how the wealthy think differently. Not smarter. Just structured. If this changed how you think about your money, smash that subscribe button. The algorithm loves it, and you won't miss the next wealth building strategy that actually works. Thanks for watching. Let's build something.